Time to get going, guys. It is Thursday, September 19th, AD 2024, and we're going to have a fun Hake report, guys. TheHakeReport.com. I will get your calls. Some of you guys already on hold and ready to go. What's up, Nugget Man? Hey, the late report. The censor report. He censors so much. Can't wait for the censor report. I need that shirt, says Shabo. It was a gift. It was, or Shabbat. It was a gift. Shout out from a listener, actually. Shout out to you, listener. Or maybe a former listener. I don't know if he or she or it was trolling me or what. But we're going to talk about cackling evil. Kamala Harris. I have clips perhaps to play. These blacks, shout out to them. They are, in my opinion, a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. Shout out to them, though. They're so out of control. In terms of how their thinking is. How their thinking is. And that includes the educated ones. The educated ones speaking out are some of the worst. Shout out to them, though. Does that make it all better if I say shout out? I talk about the transgenders like a dog, and then I say shout out to the transgenders. And Tammy Duckworth got confronted. This was maybe a week or two or three old. And a former JLP guest and liberal independent journalist, Michael Tracy, confronted her about Kamala Harris being all excited about getting an endorsement from Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney? Somebody. I forget. What a mess. And I mentioned the Smoky Mountains the Smoky Mountains getting their highest peak renamed from a Confederate general's name or a Confederate hero's name, American hero, right? To a Cherokee American Indian's name, Indian. Shout out to the Cherokee and all the American Indians. Some of them call themselves, some of you guys have called my show, call yourselves Native Americans. When I was in African American history, which I took at Pasadena City College, the professor called them indigenous peoples. That's where I first learned that word, indigenous peoples. And shout out to him and them, the blacks and black Americans. And other stuff going on in the world, the AP, far left extremist AP, talking about Hidden Figures getting, remember that movie, The Hidden Figures, whatever? I don't know if you guys would remember it. They were getting, they're getting an honor from Congress. So they got an honor from Congress, including from our favorite Christian Rhino Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. What a mess. So hopefully I'll get to a lot of that and your calls, guys, if you'd like to call in. But anyway, everybody, let's just get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. If you listen closely, you can hear the wind and noises of the vehicles driving up Glendora Mountain Road in beautiful, the beautiful Angeles National Forest, I guess. Very beautiful. Very cool, I think. Anyway, thank you guys for joining Hake. That's cool. I definitely appreciate it. The Hake report, not the Shake report. Shake. Djibouti. I don't know. I never even really listened to, who was that? Frank Zappa? What a mess. Let me get to a call or two, guys. I wasn't able to get to all of your calls yesterday, okay? So let me start off with beautiful Patrick in Denmark, who's on the line here. Patrick, thank you for calling and holding there, man. Appreciate you hanging on there. How you doing?
I'm right here, thanks. Well, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's nice weather here, and yeah, a lot of things going on here in Europe. But yeah, and I mean, I heard you today on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I heard my brother.
Your brother? Oh yeah, there was another another Danish caller, or I'm your brother, your Danish brother.
You're like my brother in Christ.
Yeah, true. Okay, right on. A spiritual brother.
I really liked the discussion today, and especially the woman calling in saying that she was realizing that she's a Christian 2 days ago, and it's because she realized that Jesus Christ, is her brother. And I think that's the realization that you have to go with when you when you consider how you are a Christian. It's really by realizing that he's your brother. Why should you disregard him, right? I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's just call yourself a Christian if it's what you're into. I'm into being a Christian. I mean, you don't have to do what you want. Definitely, you do what you see to do. I'm getting a little bit of thumping, like somebody's throwing rocks at you or something. What's that thumping?
Yes, you mean metaphorically speaking?
No, I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm literally hearing.
Oh, really? Excuse me. Well, I'm outside in nature. That's all.
Is it raindrops falling on your receiver?
No, it's because I'm walking on some pavement, I think. That's all.
Oh, okay. All right.
About it.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
But that's, I mean, how to be a Christian. That's really it. You realize that he's your brother. Why should you? And you really want to, I mean, deny yourself. Not in a, you don't have, I think, you mean, I like you say that you are biblically a Christian, like you are taking the Bible into consideration.
Right.
Talking about that you should not murder, you should not steal, and these things.
Right.
But I think the only thing is that it's maybe dangerous to think that by denying yourself, I mean, you should definitely commit yourself and subjugate yourself to the good, whatever that is, right? Because we all start from a different point, and we all are learning. And they are very heavy teachings that Christ came with, and they also rely on previous teachings from Moses or even someone prior to him.
Yeah.
So I think you have to just buy with it for yourself, and never, I mean, let someone else tell you how to be a Christian. It's your way of life, and it's not a limiting way of life. You are always more when you are a Christian. You are a chosen being. You are a being led by God, literally. That's all there is to it.
There's a Pastor Chatelet who's sometimes in my chat, I think, and in definitely JLP's chat. He references the Bible passage that says, "Let every man be convinced in his own mind." In his own mind. Know for yourself. And don't
definitely.
Nice. And then don't try to impose what you think on others. But that spirit, that prideful, evil, imposing mama spirit. Great shirt, says Bethany. Thank you, Bethany, over on the Facebook crew. Hey, I'm live on punchy.tv, by the way. Is so tempting.
Absolutely.
That's so tempting to go
It's a
to
very
bash.
imposing church that we see in the world, right? The Christian church in the world is very imposing.
Yeah.
Like you have to pay your taxes, or you have to say your rhymes before going to bed, your prayers and these things.
Yeah.
But it's never like that. I was studying the Orthodox Church, and you have to go through something called the catechism.
Catechism. Catechism, I think.
Yes, exactly. And I was very fascinated by Orthodoxy because the word literally means revelation.
Oh, cool.
Present, right? But why would you go through rhymes and writings like that? I think you have to do like Christ. You have to walk into the world and do what he did. Give himself up for the truth, which is we should love each other. We should not love money.
Yeah.
We should share with each other, and we should have hard conversations. It's a really hard conversation to discuss what is love and why are we being egotistical? Why are we not sharing our wealth?
Yeah.
Why are we not making more abundance?
Right.
Of course, once you get into it, it's really just a constant stride, right? To make more of your time, of your resources, energy, and good spirit. But that's what you got to do as a Christian. That is how you are a Christian. That's how I am a Christian.
Well, it's great talking with you, Patrick in Denmark. Appreciate you sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and
Talk to
have
you
fun
soon.
in nature. Be careful. Don't get. Do you guys have snakes in Denmark? I know they got rid of all the snakes in Ireland.
We got a few snakes, but I'm not going to get any sunburn. It's getting pretty cold here, and that's all.
Good. Right on, man. Wish you well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. You know, I'd like to hear from Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. Joe, thank you for calling and holding there, man. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, James.
Hey, good morning.
You feeling better?
I am. I appreciate it. I did feel like, is it coming back? Because, you know, sometimes these viruses do come back, so you have to make sure to get your rest and stay healthy. You're not out of the woods yet. So,
It wasn't
but yeah.
COVID, wasn't?
I do not know. I kind of doubt it, but I don't know.
Okay.
It wasn't anything severe where I had to go to the hospital, I'll tell you that much.
Good.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I do want you healthy.
Thank you.
That's good. All right. So last month, if you recall, I called in and said that watch what they do in September in terms of their Fed rate meeting, right?
Okay. And we are in September, and the Fed did something. They cut like a half point off of the interest rate, which was like
They did.
historically high.
I thought it would be a quarter point, but they cut a whole half point.
Which is, although it doesn't sound like much, it's a lot, I hear.
It is a big deal. Absolutely.
And is it desperation at all? When I speculated, when I read in Hake News on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, first hour, end of the first hour, could that be signal desperation for them to try to get the economy going again?
Desperation. That's a really interesting question.
So it's possible, since it's interest in it, sounds like it might be desperation, or it might not.
Gosh, I would love to give you a very long, involved answer to that, but I'm not going to because it would bore you and your audience.
Right.
But, I'll tell you this: it could be political.
Oh, you meaning trying to help Joe Biden, trying to help Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, before the election? Is that type of political?
The Fed is, yeah, absolutely. The Fed is supposed to be unbiased and independent.
Right.
But if you look at their decisions and when they make them historically, I think a person could come to the conclusion that there is some shenanigans going on there.
Yeah.
Now, if you recall, I said last month that when they cut rates, watch the stock market's going to increase. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And something I learned last time I was in D.C., was not aware of this, that farmers, their subsidy loans are tied to the FOMC rate. So most large-scale commercial farmers, they borrow between high six figures to low seven figures almost yearly just to sustain the farming and to create food for all of us.
Whoa.
which is very sad and very scary.
Yeah, I heard that the farmers are like totally subsidized and propped up by the government.
Oh,
Not
100%.
maybe not totally, but significantly subsidized.
Absolutely. I mean, there are loans that they have to pay back in some parts. But yeah, I mean, that's very. So you talked before about how, what the Fed does doesn't affect you as an average person. You are provided for.
Right.
Our food is at risk here, James.
Yeah, it's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I have my snake puppet out, just so you're aware, but just because it's you talking. And what made me think of it was the fact that you were like, "I'm right again," patting yourself on the back. None of us remember what you said, but you remember what you said. But anyway, go ahead.
That's so fun. So yeah. Kind of going back to what I said, these 12 to 14 people, James, are controlling our economy, which is what I've been trying to tell you for months and years now, by cutting these rates or raising the rates, and I think it's politically motivated. And the farmers are going to pay less interest now back on their loans because they're cutting these rates, which is a good thing. And they're trying to stimulate the economy. Do you understand why cutting the rate stimulates the economy, James?
I sort of do, because people are more likely to take out a loan if they don't have to pay so much through the nose to pay back the loan. They're more likely to go beyond their means, because that's what taking out a loan is, to do business in hopes that they'll grow their business and not have to pay as much.
Very good.
See,
I'm
smart.
It's more corporations than individuals, but yeah, that's the basic concept.
Yeah.
But in the case of farmers, they have to. They have no choice. They don't have, millions of dollars laying around for them to buy fertilizer and buy insecticide and buy all the things they need just to grow food. I mean, they're throwing this stuff on the ground to grow food for us.
Yeah. If we did what my dream were to be, which would be to drastically reduce the size of the government, drastically reduce the amount of social spending that the government does, which is like 60% of the government spending, I think. Get rid of minimum wage and not all of these regulations. Some of the ones that are, environmentalist, psycho type ones that are not actually necessary either for the environment and it's kind of hampering business. If we did a lot of that stuff, would we be able to farm, we the people, meaning the farmers, be able to farm and not have to borrow money? Would the homeless vets be able to survive off $3 an hour? Stuff like that. Would gasoline go back down to 10 cents a gallon? I'm exaggerating, but wouldn't it? Yeah. Would my dream work? Or is Hake economic policies trash?
I won't say they're trash, James.
Thank you.
But again, way too long and involved in an answer to get into right now on the phone.
So it sounds like it's not a clear, solid no, it wouldn't work, which I'm happy with. So you're saying there's a chance.
I love Dumb and Dumber. It's a very funny movie.
I didn't used to like it until I finally watched it with my friends after I turned like 18. And the fact that they laughed so much made me laugh at it. And then later I watched it again with them. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is hysterical.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing. Did you see where the Secret Service had warned Trump against that specific golf course?
No.
They said, don't play here. It's too close to a public road. We can't, with the resources they have, which is less than a sitting president, they can't secure the entire course. And it's too close to a public road. Please don't play here. And he played there anyway.
Whoa. I guess he has too much faith in the Lord and in the capability. But it didn't end up being too much faith, because those people did catch the guy, although they did have to fire a round or few. They had to fire some shots to scare him away. And then they had to go through all the trouble to arrest him. When I heard that had they had more protection for Trump, more resources toward protection for Trump, which would have been sensible to do, I think, since their threat against him was far more clear and present, you know, than your average so-called former president and incumbent. Then they could have arrested the guy in the parking lot, I heard. That's what I heard on some radio show.
That guy is clearly just a Looney Tunes wackadoodle for sure.
And he's not an extremist. He's a so-called centrist.
Well, clearly, guy has mental problems, and we can agree that it should be the ballot box and not a bullet. So we can only hope and pray that nothing bad happens to either candidate.
Nice.
As we get closer to November.
Yep.
All right, James.
Thank you, Joe.
Haven't been able to call in a lot lately. I've been too busy with the pipeline stuff, but I'll call in again. You know I will.
Sounds good.
You have a good day.
Take care.
All right,
bye. Bye. You snake. I have to do that because otherwise Mark and others won't respect me. And I want the respect of Mark and others. I don't know if Mark is listening. Shout out, man. Anyway, quickly, David in Ocala, Florida, on the line. David, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up with you?
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Good morning, Hake.
Good morning, my young boomer friend. Right? Boomer.
Thanks.
Youngest boomer.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, before I get going here, man, I just got to let you know today's the 51st anniversary of Graham Parsons passing away out in Joshua Tree, since you go there all the time. I brought him up last year, too. You should read up about him.
Graham Parsons.
Yeah, Graham Parsons. He co-wrote Wild Horses with Keith Richards of the Stones.
Okay.
He was a great musician, yeah. But he died at that Joshua Tree Inn out there.
Interesting, man.
Yeah,
I feel like I might have shown him a little bit. This is the picture of him. American singer / songwriter and guitarist. Wow.
Yeah,
so he died in Joshua Tree. Was that from drugs or something dumb like that?
Yeah, OD'd, yeah. I think he did too much morphine. Some girl shot him up and killed him.
Oh, he was from the Byrds. So was he Christian? Because the Byrds sang that song, For Everything, Turn.
Yeah. I don't know about that part. I can't remember. I think he did go to church as a kid. He was a trust fund baby. Anyway, they dropped the rates, to try to say, hey, look, this isn't why I called, but since he brought that up, Joe. Yeah. They dropped the rates so they could say, look, the economy is going in the right direction. I mean, if you cannot see that you're being played by these people, you got problems.
Interesting, man. Yeah.
Think about it.
That's funny that you think that.
This time.
You think that, and so does my Gen X friend and co-host, The Snake, Joe from Phoenix. He speculated it might be political. And the Fed is not supposed to be political. And, because Trump is a little bit antagonistic towards the Fed, sort of an independent minder. Is he? It's kind of like Trump is kind of like the next best thing to Ron Paul for these people who want to audit the Fed or abolish the Fed or whatever they want to do to the Fed.
Well, this is it, man. Whether Trump gets in or not, we got 4 years. If he gets in, we got 4 years. That's it. These people are going to win. There's too many of them. Anyway, I called because
interesting.
Okay. I brought up Isaiah 6:9-6.
All right.
Last time I called. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about Jesus of God. Anyway, somebody in your chat, I'm not going to mention their name so we don't get into some childish war thing here, but they wrote Jesus wasn't even around during Isaiah.
But isn't that sort of an interesting point?
On that.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's actually a good. That's an example of a good thing to bring up because that has crossed my mind as well. Isaiah, I get that you can say Isaiah. That's Isaiah. That's what my Bible thumper friend / super chatter brought up with his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right.
And so since it says that he was saying the mighty God, it just makes people think, oh, they were calling Jesus God. This is the passage, right? Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born.
You read it right.
Unto us, I was reciting it from memory because I know it from George Friedrich Handel, Handel's Messiah. Wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. But this is Isaiah pre-Jesus, but it's also predicting Jesus. But what is it talking about? What is it? Like, who are they talking about? Is he talking about God or Jesus or both? It's not necessarily... I don't know.
I'm declaring that Jesus has always existed, and
that's fair.
And why I'm telling you this,
like Son of God. He's called the firstborn over all creation. Who am I to say that's not true?
Right. I believe he's God. Well, if he didn't always exist, then he would have to be a created being, and so would the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is the one that hovered over Mary to impregnate her.
Ooh,
and that's another reason why I believe that they're all three gods. See, I believe the Father's God, the Son's God, and the Holy Spirit's God.
But why did Jesus say the Father is greater than I? As I read from Jules Verne.
They always uplift each other. They always put each other before themselves. Okay, they never supersede each other. And
well, if they never, why didn't he say the Father is equal to I?
Well, it talks about that he didn't find it unrighteous to consider himself equal with God. Okay, I don't know. I'd have to find the scripture.
No,
okay?
I have this from Ego is Real. He gave me these super chats, these coffees with all these references. Interestingly, Let me find it.
I want to say that. Listen, there's numerous
Philippians
out there.
Philippians 2:5-6. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God, meaning the image of God, which is what God made man in the image of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
Right. Very good.
And so that doesn't mean that he is God, right?
Well, I really wanted to talk about there's numerous Jesuses out there that people need to be careful about. Just because somebody says the name Jesus doesn't mean that they're talking about the true Jesus. And I'm going to back it up. The Jehovah Witnesses have a different Jesus. The Mormons have a different Jesus. The Muslims have a different Jesus. And the New Age people have a different Jesus. And there's only one true Jesus.
Interesting.
I know it is. So enough about that. I wanted to talk about P. Diddy. He upset somebody. That's what that guy did. He's a full-blown narcissist.
I don't like that word. I mean, that name. Let's call him Sean Combs.
Narcissist or
No, P. Diddy. I call him Sean Combs.
Okay, Sean Combs. Okay,
Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah.
I was listening to American
angry.
Anchor Baby. So you think that they went after him, they being the feds, the DOJ, American Anchor Baby covered this yesterday on his show. They went after him. It was a black guy, I think, a U.S. attorney.
He got too big for his britches and ran his mouth to somebody that got upset about it. And
well, somebody's getting a bit big for his britches to go after him.
Well,
I remember Tupac said
guy.
Didn't he found Bad Boy Records or something like that? Bad Boy. What's that?
Yeah, he was the East Coast rappers.
Wow.
And you guys
we fought against them.
Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre were West Coast rappers.
The other Civil
they had
War.
this little feud.
Right.
They had the little feud. Yeah. Sean could be responsible for Biggie and Tupac.
Oh, is that is that what people think? I mean, I don't really like to get into
that for years. That's why I kept it real. I said he's responsible for Biggie and Tupac. They've been saying that for years.
His middle name is Love, Sean Love Combs. Combs like combs his hair, not Combs like Hannity and Combs. Love is his middle name. Wow.
Love is his middle name. Yeah, well, he sure didn't love that.
Now
girl
I disavow
Diddy.
I disavow the speculation that he may have been behind. I know that other people say it, but I like the innocent unless proven guilty type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to get into that. Now, so you're speculating that they took him down because they're trying to take him down because he made somebody mad. But what about
he might have made a couple people mad.
I mean, that's what happens in life. If you're living any sort of a life, good or evil, you're going to have enemies who try to take you down. And he was on top of, up in the upper echelons of the worldly world at one point.
Because of that money.
Yeah, major money and major notoriety. It wasn't like he was quiet with his money. He was loud and a mess with his money. And nowadays, they have the whole culture pretending like they're kissing up to women. Anchor Baby on his show, American Anchor Baby, pointed out that they're using this dumb, evil violence against women law to go after him.
Well, he was you can tell he's a violent guy, okay? There's no doubt about it. And and I've seen this, okay, in black men before, and man, when they snap, buddy, they go crazy.
Yeah,
okay?
mama's boys do that.
I've seen a few white men get crazy, but not near the percentage of black men that they go berserk, okay? And you saw that in that video when he was beating on that woman in the hotel. He's a full-blown narcissist, okay? Full-blown, crazy.
What'd the woman do, though? I want the whole story.
Doesn't matter what she did. You don't put your hands on a woman unless she hits you, okay? If she slaps you or hits you, you got the right to grab them.
Right.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
hit
Thank you
them,
for saying that.
Grab their hands.
Yeah.
But see, these black women, that's why black men don't want black women no more. They think they got the right to hit them.
I know. That's
treat them terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy. Women are going more and more out of control. It's not good.
Yeah,
and you're right. Sean Combs may have been a bit out of control. He didn't really present himself as though he was this moral person, I don't think. Although I did like that one song. Didn't he sing that one song by the Police? Every step you take, every breath you make, I'll be missing you.
Yeah, I guess he stole it. Yeah, they did a read.
Not a stole. But yeah, that's a beautiful song.
But
words can't express what you mean to me. Anyway, go ahead.
You can't live like the devil, man, like that, and then just all of a sudden at the end cause all these people pain and abuse and just all this just degradation, what a and then you're going to just at the end of your life, you're just going to repent and ask God to forgive you. It's very hard for a person. It's very, God himself would have to intervene on that. I can't judge everybody. I'm just saying the longer you wait to call on the name of Jesus, okay, the harder it's going to be for you. I've seen it in old people. They just resist it, okay?
Yeah.
And but here's y'all's governor is a narcissist too.
Yeah.
Y'all brought him up today. I mean, that's here's a sign of a narcissistic male, somebody that would take steroids. Think about what I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
Who would do that to themselves but a full-blown narcissist? Who would stick a needle in their arm to make their body look better unless they're a narcissist?
Not me. But I'm a narcissist, and I don't even have to take steroids to be a narcissist.
Well, you're not a narcissist because you don't put yourself before everybody else. That's what narcissists do. They're the best.
Don't we all? Don't we all put ourselves before everybody else? Like when it comes down to it, when it comes really down to it, we know how to play I think the ones who are labeled as narcissists just don't know how to hide it as well. Although some of them are very good at hiding it. But
yeah, they call them covert narcissists.
Right, but we have a little bit more sense to play like we're not, because we catch ourselves and we're Christians, and also we like to keep up appearances. But people, I believe what Jesse says and what the Bible says, people are cold-hearted, out for themselves, and not godly, just selfish.
Right.
Which is what narcissism is, right?
Until God gets a hold of them and comes and lives in them.
Yeah.
They ask for forgiveness and they ask to receive the Holy Spirit. Then Jesus himself the Holy Spirit comes and lives in them and starts changing them. And then they don't want to go to the clubs and they don't want to get hammered and they don't want to do certain things, and that's the what do they call that?
Born again?
No, it's a term where sanctification. That's
okay. Nice.
Yeah, sanctification. You begin, and you never arrive. There's always something in your life that is, even Paul had some thorn in his side that he wouldn't say was, didn't really let anybody know, but he just knew.
Good for him.
People to know that he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Like I'm not perfect, but one last thing I want to say, man. You had some people call your show and they say they want to know God. The way to know God is to read His Word, to read that Bible, man. Okay, that's how you're going to find God. Anybody out there that's listening to this, if you want to know God, get yourself a Bible and read it.
Okay.
There you go, man. All right?
Appreciate your call, as always, David in Ocala.
Oh, one thing. I just remembered this. I just wrote down. Wikipedia has Jesse Lee Peterson as 6'5".
That's fake news. They do? I know that Google did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Wikipedia. They got him as 6'5".
I think that
5'6".
Yeah, I think 5'6". He's not 5'6".
He's not? How tall?
No. He's plus or minus 6 foot. Plus or minus, give or take.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like me.
Okay.
I'm like roughly 6 foot, plus or minus. For me, it's like plus or minus like 3 inches or so. I don't know.
I used to be 5'9". Now I'm like I think I lost a half inch. I'm about 5'8.5".
A lot of people, as they age, the spine thing shrinks a bit. Yeah.
Well, listen, I know you got to roll, man. Thanks for letting me talk on your show again.
Nice.
Well, have a great day.
You
All
as
right,
well.
buddy.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Whew. So, how about that cackling Kamala Harris? By the way, Boulevard bought 3 coffees. Hake rocks. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Evil, cackling Kamala Harris. I've been meaning to get to this. Kids interview. Cackling evil Kamala. Shameful. Let me turn down the volume just so it doesn't get too out of control. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Wow, what a nice blazer.
Thank you for being here.
You ready for this?
4 years ago.
How do you?
Oh, no small talk. Let's get into it.
Oh, no. That laugh.
I've heard about the families in Mexico that they get separated at the border. If you were to be president, well
Did you see that fake concerned look? Oh, hold on. This is almost like
separated at the border. If you were to be president, what would you do about that?
I would stop it.
Stop it.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you should never separate children from their parents.
What a liar. She doesn't care about that. She's for abortion.
I want to be the president of the United States,
Fantastic.
just like you.
Yes, good. Now, why do you want to be president?
Because I'm looking up to you, and I've always looked up to President Barack Obama, and I've always wanted to say that I'll be the second or third African-American president,
Yes.
and I've always put that dream in me.
Boo.
And so it shall be.
How will you keep bad guys from having guns?
Wait. She lied to that young boy. So it shall be. Look at her fake concerned face. This is what she did in the debate. We're all in this together.
How will you keep bad guys from having guns?
We can't let people have guns who are not responsible.
Like you.
What do you think the rules should be?
You should run a test to see if they're going to be responsible with the guns or not.
That is excellent. And that's called background checks.
Evil woman and blind brainwashed children. Isn't that a curse in the Bible? Somebody pointed out, and I remembered it too. Call CPS. Keep this woman away from the children. You're hurting our ears, Hake, says him Diddy. Carver531 says, base kid says no black presidents for at least 30 years. Because he's, 5? And then he wants to become the first black president. Third black president after Obama and cackling Kamala. And this was from 4 years ago, by the way. 4 years ago. This is from Kamala Harris, 497,000 subscribers, by the way. Almost 1 million views 4 years ago. No small talk, just big questions. This is when she ran for president and failed and quit in disgrace. Like a loser. She's accomplished more than you, Hake. Terry ringing in my ears. Echoing in my ears. So she's worse now. Hake, be quiet. Let your audience of children hear. All right. Nice setup, though. Isn't that sort of a cool lighting and stuff like that? But the Bible does talk about you will be ruled by women and babes. And by babes, they mean children and babies. That's called background checks, says this gal to this little girl. You're a silly girl. Both of yous.
Well, I go to a really awesome public school in Ames, but I know that some public schools across the country are kind of struggling.
She's kind of cute. She's funny. Some schools are struggling.
Would you do anything to help?
We need to invest in our public schools because it is people like you, our young, brilliant leaders, thrive and do really well in public school.
That's what she's pushing. Little girls to become leaders. JLP is so right. You know how you transmisogynistic people say that men who feel like they're women are not actually women. So it is with women thinking that they're leaders, they're not actually leaders.
You, our young, brilliant leaders, thrive and do really well in public schools. Tell me what you're worried about.
Global warming and school shootings.
Yeah.
How are you going to help stop climate change?
By 2035, we'll have electric school buses. By 2045, we'll have a clean economy. Here's the motivation. You motivate me.
What's your plan to make America nice again?
As president, that I actually am going to always reward people for being nice, not being mean. I think we are so much stronger when we are unified. And so I plan on unifying our country around the things we have in common. That no matter what our race, no matter what our gender, that we all have so much in common.
There's a lot of great teachers. How would you try to get them paid more?
No.
You just asked a question that teachers around the country are asking. A federal investment in closing the teacher pay gap it'll be the first time in our nation's history. They're not paid.
That's enough. That cracked me up when they showed this boy saying, "What worries you?" This cute, well, I use the term cute loosely. Big boy, what worries you? Global warming and school shootings. And she's like, yeah. Justifying his worry. Young man, I think it's a young man. You with your yellow, I like yellow shirts, cackling Kamala Harris t-shirt. That's not what you need to be. You don't need to be worried about anything. Just get healthy, stay fit and active, then you won't be as affected by environmental racism. Look at that.
Yeah. Tell me what you're worried about.
Global warming and school shootings.
She's encouraging him to worry. Psycho. Anyway, that's probably enough of evil cackling Kamala Harris. Isn't that just disturbing? Why is this so watched? This area. I cut it off right there. Oh, this might be interesting.
Asking. A federal investment in closing
I
the
don't
teacher.
care about that.
I want to have a nurse in every public school. I want to have a social worker in every public school.
No.
I have a plan to also pay teachers more.
Split her infinitive.
Like, I don't like mean people.
And like Donald Trump.
Yeah, me either. You know why I feel like that? I think that the people who are the strongest people are like, if they see somebody fall, they go to help pick them up.
Trump.
Like, that's a sign of strength.
Trump.
It's actually stronger to be kind than it is to be mean. And that's a winning argument every time.
I wonder what this gal is like to work for, because they say that she has a high turnover rate, and you can see right through her phoniness that she's not nice like she pretends to be nice. And nice is evil. Disgusting, says Doom Jesus. Indeed. Mean people. I want to reward nice people. You think like a child and not in a good way, evil cackling Kamala Harris. Is this her most watched video? I wonder. Here's her. No, don't show me that. I don't want to see that. Popular. Oh no, she has some major views. Kamala Harris and Mindy Kaling cook masala dosa. See, like Trump said 4 years ago, she's Indian. Indian. Barack Obama. So tell me about Joe. Fearless, something, Harris Waltz 2024. Harris and Joe Waltz. Oh, okay, it's in the top 10, I would guess, right? Kids interview her. That's the guy who wants to be the third president. 30 years is not enough. But you can see through her phoniness. Trump is nice. In fact, he's a little bit too nice, but he's naturally real in his niceness. This is schmornography, says him, Diddy. Yeah, it is vulgar and nasty. I just had to shudder. Mean people stink, says Great Bowls of Fire. Except he doesn't say stink. He said the other one that kids don't say that one. Exactly. She is super fake. That isn't cool, says Marjorie. I think. Ugh. Nah. Such a nasty woman. But, you know, kids are cute, and so they're using the children. People's heart warms when they see children, a lot of times. And they're pushing the gun scaremongering. She finally found an age group that meets her level of knowledge in English, says Prep Ham Paul, a supporter on the Rumble crew. Thank you, man. All right. That's probably enough, right? Do we dare go through any more? How about at double speed? Have some fun with 2x?
Why do you think we should have background check?
Because if you don't know how they're going to react with guns, maybe you'll kill somebody.
I'm going to pass what you said on to a lot of adults, and I'm going to ask them to listen to you and what you just said, because you are so right, and you are such a great leader for saying that.
Leader? Oh, that wasn't so bad. Let me make sure that I'm not playing at double speed for anything else. Go back to normal. That's one good thing I can say about Kamala's editor, or whoever did this. They cut it to a decent length, although that one syrupy, gross part Slow it down, make her drunk. I'm not going to get into what people say. They cut it short enough for us not to be, just enough not to throw up. She's been for the gay agenda for a long time. Here, look at some other posts real quick, and then we'll move forward. I mean, you don't really need encouragement not to support Kamala Harris. Press 1 if you support Kamala Harris. Support Kamala. Press La for 24. 1 yes, 2 no, 3 IDK, 4 here for a chat. Let me know if you support Kamala. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know, 4 if you're here for chat. Just curious. But anyway, this is from this guy whom I saw on X. This guy Jarvis. Gay, coconut tree. Artsy boy, 1985. Call himself a boy if he was born in 85. I swear I've never seen a pop social media such as Pop Crave media platform go this hard for a presidential candidate like VP cackling Kamala Harris. Kamala being the only state attorney general to wed so-called same-sex couples is the exact reason why she had my support in 2019. She has always been our ally. This Rocket City born and bred war eagle, hopefully that's not bad, liberal Democrat extrovert retro K-hive, Kamala hive? Like the beehive? Is it beehive or bayhive? Beyonce hive? Pop Crave. July 23rd, resurfaced video shows evil cackling Kamala Harris. And by the way, don't harass this young man. Use the term loosely. And then California AG instructing a Los Angeles clerk to begin so-called gay marriages after Prop 8 was halted in 2010, because Prop 8, we the people of California, including blacks, Mormons, and others. A lot of you guys are pressing 2, no, not for her. Matthew's pretending to press 1 and going crazy face that he would vote for her for 24. C-Sal is saying 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. She's going to vote multiple times for Kamala Harris. What's Omid say? Somebody said Omid, WTH. What the heck? What the Hake? A Los Angeles clerk began gay marriages after Prop 8. Prop 8, we said a marriage is between one man and one woman. This is her in, I guess, 2010. Hopefully this is not blasting you guys. Listen. Oh, pardon me. Let me crank it up a little bit more. Here it is.
This is her telling LA that... Hi, is this the clerk in Los Angeles?
Oh, Lord.
This is Kamala Harris. You must start marriages immediately. You must start the marriages immediately.
Such authority.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. Have a good day and enjoy it. It's going to be fun.
You sicko. Who's the Attorney General? Because she was Attorney General of the so-called misnomered United States of America. Here, I'll click into the Pop Crave thing so you guys don't harass poor Jarvis of whatever. Hey, I'm not so... Oh, except I don't really have... Oh, duh, I have it right here. Kamala for the gays. For the gays. Psh, evil. You must start it immediately. Such authority in that voice, isn't it? No, it's not. She's going to be a great woman dictator. And evil, you may recall, evil Barack and Michelle, the rock of the Obama family, was all for her. Oh man, wrong one. Man, I had to crank that one. Look at this woman, Michelle Obama, and Barack. Hussein, the other one, both tweeted. Earlier this week, this is the other week, right? July 26th. I guess that's how long she's been running for president, right? Earlier this week, Michelle and I called our friend, Kamala Harris. We told her we think she'd make a fantastic president of the United States. Oh, in your face! Who's the snake? My co-host, the snake. Obama told you better vote for her. He's a great president. So much for being a great president. He's disgracing his name, his horrible name already, honestly, by saying that she would make a fantastic. That means that she would get an F as president of the United States, presidentess. She has our full support, which is fake, obviously, right? It's a critical moment of our country. We're going to do everything we can. Make sure she wins in November. We hope you'll join us. And phony Michelle tweeted out the same video. But I'm so proud of my girl, cackling Kamala. So excited to endorse her as a Democrat nominee because of her positivity. We're not going to go back. What are you worried about? Yeah, so positive. Sense of humor. And ability to bring light and hope to people all across the country. Mamala.
The words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much.
What a phony.
And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Oh no, she's doing it. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. So that's... You want one more thing? This was tweeted by a Howard grad. And this is another one from that artsy boy. He's the one, I think, from whom I saw those kids. So I'm like, oh yeah, Kamala talked to the children. So this woman, Hope is a Bison, posted this as a Howard, I keep on saying Harvard, because I disrespect both Harvard and Howard University. Howard is the black one. Harvard is the hoity-toity one. Criminal justice, so-called. And this, the gay guy Jarvis, I guess. I mean, he's calling himself that, right? With the radical agenda. I'm so glad this person, blah, blah, blah. Her record on CJ, I think that's criminal justice during her time as a San Francisco DA. She didn't believe in the status quo of the system. She designed a re-entry program for nonviolent offenders while supporting better policing. Meaning, let the criminals back out on the streets. Nonviolent. As a Harvard grad, I knew about our alum. I keep on saying it. Howard, cackling evil lame-o Kamala Harris at one alumni club meeting talking about how her star was on the rise. Used to watch the State of the Black Union every year on C-SPAN. Became a fan forever when I saw this in 2006. What? Let's see if I can get it to play correctly. And we're coming up on the top of the hour, guys. Hang on. Let me turn this down a little bit so it's not blasting. Ooh. Here it is.
Nobody cares about the fact that we've got a bunch of young black and brown men in prison. That argument is not working. What I suggest we do as African Americans is own this issue in law enforcement and then define it.
See, our greatest president, she did play black when she was around blacks. She's always played black when she's around blacks. And right now it's played up to play up being black.
In the way that works for us, because
for us. Why is she talking like that anyway? She's talking all ghetto.
Myth to say that African Americans don't want law enforcement.
That's true. Black mothers want cops. They're begging for more cops. It's a myth to say black Americans don't want more law enforcement. Just the commies do. That's why the commies don't. The real commies, I heard on American Anchor Baby from a call from Terry, I think, because she's friends with real commies, the ones who are really about it. You don't like her because she's a more practical commie, and they're impractical because she knows that you have to at least pretend like you're a practical communist in order to get elected, to sucker the suckers, the voters, Oops. Pardon me, I don't know how to click over here.
We want our grandmothers to be able to walk to church and be safe. We want our babies to be able to walk to the park and be safe. What we don't want is racial profiling.
Oh, Lord.
What we don't want is excessive force.
Lord.
What we don't want is to have our civil liberties and civil rights be stripped. But
Lord.
we do want law enforcement. So let's define it in the way that works for us by saying, I want community policing. I want a police department that works in my neighborhood and in my community that reflects the mores and the culture and respects my grandmother. Again, when they walk in to talk to her, I want a system of
she looks so different with that extra eyeshadow and reflective shiny thing over her eyelids. She looks so much more like Indian. Doesn't she look sort of Indian? Look at that face. Who would vote for that face? I'm putting anyway. Oh no. Here we go. Accountability. Where's black accountability?
Accountability in the criminal justice system that says law enforcement needs to own crime prevention as much as it talks about long sentences. Because nationally,
oh Lord, this
only
is hard to listen
18%
to.
of serious crime results in an arrest.
Duh.
So if I, as law enforcement...
Whoa. Watch the mic. What are you, Jesse Lee Peterson? Slapping the mic? Shout out to him. The look at that big old lav in 2006 lavalier mic. Isn't it grating? Isn't it grating on your central nervous system, Linya and Chin? I know that I grate on his central nervous system too. So if I grating on your nerves, that's a face not even a mother can love. Whoa. Stop it, Hake. You can skip it, Hake. Back to callers. Am I able to play it at faster speed? Oh, man, hold on. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, yeah. So we do it faster speed? Did I click it? Can I click it? Yes, you can. Then I'm done.
It's my responsibility to keep you safe. Only talk about keeping you safe by sending people to prison for a long time. I'm necessarily going to fall short because the vast majority of that crime's not even hitting my system. So if I'm going to keep my promise to you to keep you safe, I'd better talk with you about what I'm doing in terms of crime prevention, which means recognizing that people coming out of the state prisons, 60% will recidivate if we don't get them in reentry programs, if we don't get them in job training, job readiness, get them in programs that deal with their substance abuse, get them in meaningful...
Recidivism is when you keep on going back, Tavis Smiley, when you keep on committing crimes after getting out. It's only 20, 30 more seconds.
Housing and employment so they don't recidivate. We could talk about it in terms of is it the right thing to do? Of course it is. But I'm done talking about it like that. I'll just talk about it on this basis. If that person commits another crime, I have to spend $10,000 to try that felony. They sit in my county jail for $35,000 a year. I'm running a reentry program out of my office in San Francisco DA's office that brings folks back into the community at an expense of $8,000 a year, guarantees them employment, guarantees them meaningful reunification with their families.
Pardon me, guys.
Nobody cares about the fact that we've got a bunch of young black and brown men in prison. That argument is not working.
I'm just trying to fix the speed so that does Twitter save the speed that you left it, where you left it? Still too slow. Okay. Let me check Super Chats, guys. Well, is there anything to say about this? She's all talking about we this and we that. She doesn't even... Like, I'm going to have a guest on my show whom some of you guys like, some of you guys hate him. Misfit Nation, next, maybe Thursday, a week from today, I think. Crishaun the Dawn, who's also Jamaican, just like Kamala Harris. She's his sister. And Crishaun the Dawn of Misfit Nation, the Misfit Nation, frequent guest on the Hake Report. He's coming back on it next week. He's going to talk about how the Jamaicans don't really think that they're black Americans. They know that they're Jamaican. They know they're different. Let me just do that. They know it. And this woman's she's clearly put it on a show. And some of the blacks are eating it up. Oh, look at that. My competitor. Don't watch my competitor. She is putting on a show. I don't know how to zoom. Oh, look at that gal. I think it's a gal. Hey, she went to Howard. Don't you love black people? And she has 10,000 followers. Right on. Will you be my friend? Should I follow her? I don't want to get blocked. Don't harass her, guys and gals. I just accidentally clicked on it because I don't know how to work a computer. Want to hear another annoying black? Let's skip it for now, shall we? Look at all these annoying people. I'm looking at all these. You're looking at Hake's notes. Let's get to something real. Real dumb. Real bad. Kiss up government. Kuwohi. Smoky Mountains' highest peak returns to so-called Native American name. And shout out to the Indians. I've always, ever since I was a child, liked the Indians. Cowboys and Indians, which one you want to play? I like them both. They're cool. Running with a hatchet, with the leather, maybe riding horses. I didn't know about firewater, alcohol, and we called them American Indians, not Native Americans. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Aggravated Hake. Aggravated by the advertisements. This is from Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. See that? CNN Travel. The Smoky Mountains' highest peak. Smoky Mountains' highest peak. Sorry. Lin Yun Chin, you got me. This is from Far Left AP, by the way. Returns to Native American name. Look at that beautiful area. That was not made by the American Indians, I betcha. No, that was made by the whites, the Confederates, maybe. Am I able to operate the computer? I'm trying to zoom way in, but I guess I'll skip that for now. But look at the nice greenery and the paved walking path, the stair steps, nicely, rock, stuff like that. Park guests walk to Clingmans Dome Tower. Okay, whatever. And park store in the Smoky Mountains Memorial Park. AP, highest peak of Great Smoky Mountains. SMOKY, no E in Smoky. National Park is officially reverting, going back. I thought Kamala said we are not going back to the Cherokee name. More than 150 years after a surveyor named it for a Confederate awesome American hero general. The U.S. board, I always used to think that it was so silly for them to be called board. I remember people I knew used to go to board meetings and get bored. The U.S. boring board of geographic names voted Wednesday in favor of a request from the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. See, they call themselves Indians. So can Hake. Shout out. To officially change, split in their infinitive, to change officially the name Clingmans Dome to Kuwohi. Kuwohi. Kind of a cool name, not as cool as Clingman's Dome. According to a news release from the park, the Cherokee name for the mountain. Cherokee's a cool name. Kuwohi? That's cool. You could call it a subtitle. Clingman's Dome, subtitle Kuwohi. Because it's kind of cool. The Great Smoky National Park is proud to support this effort to officially, splitting its infinitive, to officially restore the mountain and recognize its importance to the Cherokee people. Superintendent Cassius Cash. Is that an Irish name? These Irish, I don't know if it's Irish. Cassius Cash stated in the release, the Cherokee people have had strong connections to Kuwohi and the surrounding area long before the land became a national park. So what? Doesn't mean that you have to kiss up to them. You appreciate them, but you don't kiss up to attack and smear the beautiful Confederate American brothers. Kuwohi is a sacred place for the Cherokee people, so says Commie Nonsense Network. Oh, all of a sudden, Commie Nonsense Network, liberalism is so annoying, says Blur. Yeah. And the Japanese don't mind the short for Japanese. Really? They don't? Huh? Is that true? I'm asking. Somebody in the chat is making the claim. I shall not dox the name. All of a sudden, CNN acknowledges religion if it's a fake, like a pagan religion like the American Indian Cherokee religion. We made them Christian. We made them better. But some of them would rather be bitter than better. Shout out to the American Indians, Cherokee people. The Cherokees. Highest point within traditional Cherokee homeland per the park. The peak is visible from the Qualia boundary east, blah, 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 blah. That's too much. Great Smoky Mountains National Park closes Kuwohi every year for 3 half days so that predominantly Cherokee schools can visit the mountain and learn its history. Segregation! But that's nice. See, we're so nice. Too nice. Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Tennessee, North Carolina border. Ah, that's where it is. On the Tennessee-North Carolina border. Who knew that Tennessee and North Carolina bordered one another? Who knew? It is America's most visited national park. Who knew that? Kuwohi is one of its most popular sites. So they renamed the most popular site of the most popular park, one of the most popular sites on the most popular national park after the American Indians. This is how you get taken back over. The Cherokee joined the Confederacy, so says Parte Bonsa, who sounds like he knows, but according to somebody in my chat, I read it on the internet. It must be true, but it might be true. I mean, he said it. Makes me think it might be true. Doom Jesus, just like America. By the way, my evil niece and some of her boyfriends, whoa, burned my house down Thursday. My brother and I have no home now. Whoa! She killed all my pets too. Yikes. Pray for Doom Jesus. The only one allowed to do all caps in the chat. That's wild. That's like what's happening to America. Our evil little girl sisters, shout out, are burning down America and killing our pets and leaving us homeless. Shout out to the homeless. The peak became known as Clingmans Dome following the 1859 survey by geographer Arnold Guyot. G-U-Y-O-G-U-Y-Y-O-T. who named it for Thomas Lanier Clingman. Thank you, CNN, educating us on beautiful Confederate history. A Confederate brigadier general, as well as a lawyer. Which makes me think some of these generals who become politicians, I'm doing a don't cut it, we cut it. At least nowadays, I don't know, a U.S. representative and senator from North Carolina. According to the park, the name restoration personnel proposal was submitted January by Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians Principal Chief Michel Hicks. Nice Cherokee name. I have to see what type of person this is. Accountants and auditors. Principal Chief. Eastern Band of Cherokee. I need to see a picture. Please don't be a woman. Okay, good. Principal Chief and troublemaker. Look at him. He doesn't look like a troublemaker. He looks like a polite Mexican grandfather with an American Indian tie and a blazer and a thing. CPA, certified pain in the rear. Not a normal Cherokee. CNN didn't even look it up. They just relied on what the park said about the guy. Look at that beautiful road. I don't know why it's showing that. What in the world? Oh, there we are. They just relied on what the national park said about the man, about this guy, Thomas Lanier. What a cool name, Lanier. JLP likes that strong name, Thomas. Whatever. And DK says, I knew that. I lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga, what a cool name. See, I like American Indian stuff. I assume that's American Indian. And we had the Olympics in 95. Really? At the Kuwohi, which is American Indian, Native American Indian. Just Ang says, he's cute. Some white blood mixed in, you can tell. Yeah. Is he Cherokee enough to be... Is he Cherokee enough? Doesn't he totally look like... He almost looks like a white with a good tan. But anyway, at least it's not run by a woman. There's some of these... But I don't really appreciate him wanting to change the name from... Thomas Lanier, what was it? This is probably it, right? I can't see from here. Clingman. Look at this honorable man. I know nothing about him. I just see a man and I just say, and I hear about Confederacy and I automatically go, honorable man. Look at him, his hand in his jacket. For some reason, I'm having a tough time with my trackpad here. Anyway, let me just keep it moving. It's evil kiss-up culture. It's not good. I'm not happy about it. I don't even call them Indians. We call them First Asians. He's the Elizabeth Warren type. Spoiler alert has the Wikipedia on this Thomas guy, Clingman. It's so sick and evil, this kiss-up culture. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. And then I will get to your calls and any super chats that I may have missed. See if I can go over here. 1812 to 1897. There it's going. I just have to be more confident. Thomas Lanier Clingman, known as Prince of Politicians, the Prince of Politicians, a Democrat based. The Democrats were based back in the good old days. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, here Here he is. He looks kind of like somebody I know or knew. There he is. Here he is. Doesn't that look like somebody you know? Maybe not. Anyway, good for him. We appreciate him. What else is this sick, disgusting kiss-up culture? Is this. Check this out. It's bad. So you heard about that. Hidden Figures, a far-left extremist AP reports NASA's Hidden Figures awarded with Congress highest honor. Hidden Figures. I watched that movie. It was for you guys, because I was a radio producer at the time, talk radio, the J.C. Lee Peterson show. Space race icons, they call them, receive Congress highest honor at medal ceremony. Please have opened it to a new page. So here's far-left extremist AP promoting this, and listen to this ridiculousness. Hopefully. Oh no! Please. Woo. Where I have to suffer through this silly ad. Hopefully we can skip it. Okay, here we go.
Is the highest honor that Congress can bestow upon any group
Don't give me another
gold medal is the highest honor. The Congressional Gold Medal is the highest honor that Congress can bestow upon any group or individual. And we give it to show our national appreciation for the achievements and contributions of great Americans. Today, pursuant to H.R. 1396,
Mike Johnson,
we have the great pleasure of finally awarding this medal to the Hidden Figures.
The Hidden Figures. Oh.
At a time in America when our nation was divided by color and often by gender,
Good.
These women dared to step into the fields where they had previously been unwelcomed. They excelled in science and math and made groundbreaking contributions in aeronautics. But these women didn't just crunch numbers and solve equations for the space program.
Math black
They
women.
actually laid the very foundation upon which our rockets launched and our astronauts flew and our nation soared.
Good for you, ladies.
And although we call them hidden figures, we shouldn't think of them merely as supporting characters in the American story of space exploration.
Space
they were
real.
the engineers and mathematicians who actually wrote the story itself.
Wow.
The pioneers that we honor today,
Oh, Lord.
these hidden figures.
Look at this. Look at this crap.
Their courage and imagination brought us to the moon. And their lessons, their legacy, will send us back to the moon.
Look at them.
And then
They're light skinned.
Imagine.
Those are light
Just
skinned guys.
imagine when we leave our footprints
Look at that guy.
on the red sands of Mars.
Grandchild? Daughter?
Thanks to these people who are part of our NASA family, we will continue to sail on the cosmic sea to far off cosmic shores.
At least they didn't have them talk. Oh no. Oh, cute. Shout out. They don't look like the movie Hidden Figures. Watch, the movie's gonna come up, hopefully. Look at this. With this gal. Remember these gals? I saw this movie. Why am I bragging that I saw it? Remember this? Octavia Spencer. She's the only believable one because she's, sort of fat. Taraji P. Henson, the evil one, which I like her, but she's evil. And Janelle Monáe, the singer gal, the cute, pretty one. They did not look like that. Oh, and Kevin Costner. I forgot Kevin Costner. He's such an anti-white simp guy. Dances with wolves. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I never knew Kevin Costner was such a simp for the lame-os. Kristen Dunst. Octavia Spencer. Oh, no, don't tell me this. Oh, okay, that's the cast. Okay, that's okay. Look at them. And Taraji P. Henson with her face. By her face, I mean that attitude. Ridiculous. Kiss up culture. Oh, we're going to honor them with this highest honor 50 years later. They're all old and they have to put their grandchildren up there, whoever that was. And the moon land, we went to the moon and it's real and space is real and straight. Space deniers. It's just that constant in your face. Eat it, white man. We're going to kiss up to these people and take it away from you and give it to them. Mess. Shout out. Have a good attitude. Used to think Kevin Costner was such an alpha because his movies. He's just a little beta lib. Space is fake and not morally straight, says somebody. Kevin Costner is a flat earther. Really? Really? The plot thickens. No, I don't know if he is. Just reading chat. Chat sometimes trolls Hake. Let's keep it moving, guys. Do catch Joel Friday TV. He is coming up soon. Okay? Let me make sure that I can get his redirect set while I'm thinking of it. Joel Friday TV comes on Monday through Thursday. All right. And his is A Religious Mindset is the name of his upcoming video. Joel Friday TV. Joel. Waterworld. I never saw that one. It seemed like it was going to be fun, but I never watched it. I saw a portion of it in class. I remember, I feel like I saw Kevin Costner play who's that guy who shot Wyatt Earp or something like that? He was a shooter. He shot guns. I think he played Wyatt Earp or something. And he was all like high-pitched beta voice. Hi. And his hair was like too obviously dyed. I think. Looked like it was dyed. You know that 90s dye? Hair dye? Doesn't look natural. All right. Anyway. Let me double check for any super chats that have come in besides... oh, yeah, there are some. Boulevard bought that coffee over here on buymeacoffee.com / the Hake Report. Boulevard says, Hake rocks. Thanks, man. Unless he's talking about whatever. Thank you, Boulevard. And then I saw this from this person. I'll say something nice when you say something nice. Booing children and calling them blind and brain dead. I didn't say brain dead, I said brainwashed. You're a shameful beast. Baja man. Or Baja man. I sent a Cashapp but never get acknowledged. Oh, and beautiful Patrick, I thought I was the Z one. Laughing face with tears. Just don't call any more minors a tall glass of water, you degenerate. Oh, and tell, oh, you're evil. Harris Wallace 2024 and 2028. There's that evil guy. Let me look up. So when I got Tall Glass of Water from a Christian band's Christian song. Do you play basketball? No, I don't play basketball. It was some goofy Christian band. And you're evil, JC. You're shameful. What was I going to look up? Oh, yeah, Cashapp. I did see that, man. What is this? What's this going to? Cash.app. That's all I want to go to. Because I signed in. Hopefully I'm signed in, okay? I do say thank you for the thing. Hopefully I'm not giving away bad info. I don't think I am. Okay, thanks for playing Chicken Lips. Horrible pick, he says. This person says. Thank you, person. And you're welcome. Chicken Lips is a great song. Very nice. Thanks as always for the support. Cash.app/James Anton, Anton. Hake. Very cool. Oops. Okay. Well, thank you, Little Rock man. Popcorn Thump Cake. Overwhelmed Sal with those coffees yesterday, but I appreciate them and I like the conversation. In case you wondered about the name Marvin Popcorn Sutton, legendary Appalachian. I call it Appalachian. Some people call it Appalachian. Moonshiner. Oh, wow. And links to the Wikipedia on Popcorn Sutton. What are your thoughts on people who make moonshine? Is it cool, quote unquote, or outlawish, quote unquote? Or do you look at them as criminal, as it is breaking the law? I don't really have a big opinion on it. I haven't really thought about it. But here is Mr. Popcorn Sutton. Is that an Irishman? He looks familiar, doesn't he? Like an actor. Born in 1946, died in the tender age of 62 in 2009. Born in North Carolina. I guess just north of North Carolina is Tennessee. The beautiful South. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to North Carolina too, I think. Raleigh? Marvin Popcorn Sutton was an American Appalachian moonshiner and bootlegger. Wait, was he born in... What, is this date real? 1946? That's so young. Oh yeah, it would be. But moonshiner, it wouldn't be illegal then, would it? Bootlegging wouldn't... How is bootlegging moonshine illegal after 1946? The world. Is it illegal? Nowadays? Oh, he died by suicide. Died by suicide, meaning he committed it. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Rather than report to federal prison after being convicted of offenses related to moonshining and illegal firearm possession, evil ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, explosives. Wow. Since his death, a new company and associated whiskey brand have been named after him. Aww. Popcorn's Thump Keg with the tearjerker namesake story. Sad. Makes me want to cry. Watch this when you get the time. He was an interesting guy. Thank you for the tip, man. A moment of silence for the idiot. Don't kill yourself. Never commit suicide. Everything gonna see and be all right. Stop the war. Lay down your weapons. Spouse, child, meaning wife, Pamela Sutton. Man, short, skinny fella. Always wore his hat. Kind of his claim to fame. His hat that he always wore. Well, I don't like that. I don't like it. Terrible. Well, thank you. I'll just show you guys briefly what this is. It's a news tip, and it's about him, I presume. I think it's safe to... Hopefully it doesn't... Oh, there he is. Living history. Popcorn Sutton interviews. Wow. Well, maybe I'll put that on my watch later, which I never check, but anyway. Check it out sometime. All right? Ooh. Where's that from? Sucker Punch Pictures. 2 million views. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you once again, sir. And you're black. So I hadn't even considered what this was about, this Popcorn's Thump keg. I had not. So thank you. You know, you read things and you hear things and you don't even think twice about them. All right, let's get to calls, or one at least, or two. William in California is on the line. How you doing, William? Appreciate you hanging in there.
All right.
Hey.
All right. Hey, man, that's interesting. Okay, I remember that guy.
Do you? You're sort of a history buff. That's cool.
Yeah, I think they had a reality show, and I don't know, to answer your question, I think moonshining is illegal, but I think some people have turned legal with it. I don't know.
Okay.
So, you know, that stuff. Well, if you ever try that stuff, man, if you go to the South, those people make that homemade stuff, man, it'll knock you out of your socks.
Wow.
Yeah, that stuff is strong. But, yeah, that's his claim to fame. That's right. I didn't realize that where that name came from.
Yeah.
Popcorn. Oh, that name is Lanier.
Oh, okay, Lanier. That's how you pronounce it. Instead of Lanier, the Confederate guy.
It's Lanier. Yeah, like Bob Lanier.
Yeah.
The basketball player, Bob Lanier. I think he just died. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Lanier.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. But man, when you had that videos, you know, on high speed, with Kamala.
Yeah.
That reminded me of something so bad. I'm like, oh my God, hit the X.
Yeah, so bad.
Oh God. Well, I think the moderator from the debate might be in trouble.
Oh, really?
Allegedly, yeah. There's just been some fallback on that.
Yeah. Huh. Very interesting.
Well, I mean, you know, Kamala didn't tell the truth about anything other than when she introduced her name.
Huh. That's true. She is not a truth teller, and JLP exposed how she said that there's no active duty troops in combat zones, and they're like, where the bleep are we?
We got so many proxy wars going right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Indeed.
And then they had another attack. This time it was the walkie-talkies.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. JLP mentioned it. Crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. I've never seen anything like that. But I do understand they've been having this technology for a while, and they hit everybody all at the same time.
Yeah.
At once. You know. So, and just for the record, you know, a lot of people they talk bad about the Jewish state, but the reason why the United States supports them so much, they are the stability of the Middle East.
Yeah.
I think maybe our only.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, it would be
Saudi Arabia, maybe.
I don't know. I think with Trump back in charge, I said tomorrow. With Trump back in charge tomorrow, Trump can make a deal with. He's even willing to talk with Black Lives Matter. You know, like there are some people in Black Lives Matter who like have fallen victim to that evil mindset.
Yeah,
who would be sensible to talk to a little bit. And then he says, but some people you can't talk to. But he's a sensible man. He can work with any of those. He loves the Muslims, you know?
Right. Well, some of them have defected from Black Lives Matter. They realized that they were scammed and everything.
Yeah.
And in the words of the great Malcolm X, and I'm Catholic, I'm not Muslim, but Malcolm X has something he said in 1964. He said, it's either the ballot or the bullet. If you're so black, stand yourself up there. Let's see how many white folks you killed. If you haven't and stood up right way, don't stand up at all. You know, but a lot of people will get that message mixed up. They'll take it in the wrong way.
Yeah, true.
And like they said, well, Malcolm, would you ever get into politics? Malcolm say, probably not. Ooh. it definitely wouldn't be them doggone Democrats. That came out of his mouth. He said it would not be them.
Right.
But, they have a spell on my beautiful black people that Lyndon Baines Johnson put on them years ago.
Yeah.
You give those ends some free stuff.
They'll be voting for me voting Democrat for 200 years. Something like that.
I don't know why. You know what, James? If he did say that, that is proof. That's proven.
Right.
Why would you continue to? You know what I mean? There's nothing coming out of it.
I know. And then it's not like they're really even waking up when they realize that the Democrats are not their friends either, because they still into the black thing. They're still angry, brainwashed people.
Well, then they are. And it's a shame to say this, but they really are, because they want to reach back to years of Jim Crow and this, that, and the other. These are times that these people that are talking about this were not around at the time, including myself.
Yeah.
And if you want to reach, why don't you look at the fact that since slavery until civil rights came, black families were together.
Right.
During segregation,
They were starting to fall apart, though, for some reason, even before the so-called, I don't know. I think that they were pushing
58,
that. Yeah.
When they started bringing in the integration, a lot of people have misconception on the stories about the Deep South and how much trouble did the blacks actually get into, because you're talking about a time where blacks were not around whites and whites weren't around blacks.
The ones in the city were the ones who were troublemakers and getting into trouble and falling apart, I think. The ones in the city.
You could be right.
I know that there was some rural problems too, but I feel like the cities have always been home to corruption, to worse corruption.
Yes.
Temptation and all that stuff.
And I noticed when you had your super chats up, there was on the bottom, I seen Thomas Sowell. I love Thomas Sowell.
Yeah.
And Thomas Sowell was the one that, for your caller yesterday, Thomas Sowell was the one. He's one of the number one economists in the world. He said this years ago. If you raise the minimum wage, you create unemployment.
Right. Exactly. Famous economist and black and smart, Thomas Sowell. This was a tip from spoiler alert, 2 minutes, Thomas Sowell on minimum wage.
Well, he said he didn't open his eyes until he left Howard and went to Harvard. When Harvard was about something.
From Howard to Harvard.
That's correct. Now, the thing about it is that what he's saying is that minimum wage, and I believe this too myself, whoever your caller was, no. When I was in high school, minimum wage was $3.25.
And that was still too high.
That was I don't know. I mean, I got $26 a week for a part-time job in high school. Okay, it was very low because minimum wage jobs is not something that adults are supposed to discuss. That is nothing for you to be raising your family on.
That's for high schoolers.
That's for high schoolers.
Yeah.
Then we come all the way up into this
junior hires.
Time. Well, look. I'd say it's about the mid-'90s. You didn't see paper boys anymore. There were grown people delivering the newspaper.
Wow.
Look at McDonald's.
I'm going to like this video, just ignorantly like it.
Look at McDonald's. They got 50 and 60-year-old people working at McDonald's. These are minimum wage jobs. They're not even for you. They're for high school people.
Right. Duh.
They're not meant to raise
or
families.
Retired people, like old retired people who just want to keep busy and keep a little job and be old and wise with the high schoolers.
Just a smidgen, but for a whole society to be bent over backwards over minimum wage, you are not meant to raise your family on minimum wage.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What is $20 an hour anyway?
A living wage, please.
Well, let's think about it. What is $20 an hour in the state of California or New York anyway?
Too much. It's too much, and it's both too much and it's not enough.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's too much for minimum wage, and it's not enough to make a living or raise a family.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
well, James, let's look at this.
What's
guy.
your solution?
Minimum wage, they're not going to do it. It needs to go back to $10 an hour, dude.
Nice.
You need to learn. You need to learn that this is a training.
So you would
it's a
phase it
training
out rather than just eliminate it entirely like I would.
Just phase that out, dude.
Nice.
You know, that stuff makes companies lay people off like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And it also raises the price of the dollar menu.
Yep, exactly.
There's no dollar menu anymore.
Yep.
So what it does is it creates a lot of problems, and then you get like the Democrats, they advocate for it, and then their followers think that they're doing something for them, and they're basically telling you to stay in this state of mind for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true. Be an underachiever and get propped up.
Doesn't it seem like they're giving you a trophy to be an underachiever? Isn't that correct?
Yeah, totally. Be reward being a failure and a lame-o. Reward it. And then you just stay that way.
Well, it was...
Human nature is lame.
I did that stuff when I was a teenager, dude. You're supposed to leave that behind you. Minimum wage shouldn't even come into your vocabulary.
Right. That's
but
true.
It's not enough to make a living on. I don't know why, you do that, but...
Yep.
These silly politicians have silly people following them.
True.
It's like Miss Harris. Miss Harris is nothing really to brag about.
It should be Emhoff. Kamala Emhoff. You know?
Yeah, because she's doing the brown shirt thing, isn't she? I want you to be. I want you to be an underachiever all your life while I stand up on the throne.
Right.
And they just can't see that.
Yep.
They just can't see that.
So evil.
How are you feeling? You feeling better? And it's good to hear from you too, Joe. Joe, it's good to hear Joe Phoenix.
I'm definitely
Always
feeling a
enjoy
lot
his
better.
call.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You
it.
feeling better?
Yeah.
We heard from Mark lately?
No, it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. Yeah, but I'm sure he'll get in touch again if he so pleases.
Oh, I like Mark.
Yeah.
I like Mark. I like people that are brutally honest.
Yeah.
That what you want to hear. No. That's not how this is going to work. It's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
And Sean Puppy Combs, very complicated situation. No, you do not put your hands on women. But a lot of this behavior was being put up with for the longest, as long as all of that money was flying around.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, just think about it.
Yeah, true.
Trump said it in his locker room.
It's
at
basically
the country club.
Right. It's basically get the men. Time's up. Your time is up, men. So
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you gotta be the man about the situation and let them know, hey, it ain't working like that here. And just go on with your life and everything. But there's no equality. Let's just start right there. There is no equality.
Yeah.
There's a winner. There's a loser. There's hot. There's cold. There's stop and there's go.
Huh. I appreciate it, William. I gotta wrap things up because Joel Friday is coming up in the next 5 minutes or so.
Shout out
I have
Joel
to
Friday.
close up for him.
Yeah. When are you gonna have Big Bump again?
Maybe around Thanksgiving, possibly. Not sure.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
You tell him I said hi, and you guys keep up the good work.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
All right.
Bye. Guys. Mark in Florida, I don't think I can have time to get to you. I'm at 5 minutes till. He wanted to ask, what does it mean to be a Christian? Or he wanted to talk about that. I have to start wrapping up. Columbus Day. Big Bump will be joining Hake. Columbus Day. So get pumped. Get ready. Get excited. And again, next week I'm going to have Crishaun the Dawn on next Thursday of Misfit Nation. I'm down for Columbus Day. Big bump. Nice suggestion. Oh, yeah. We have to wrap things up. What do I want to do on a Thursday? Shall we do a Langtry? Kind of a nice, let's do this. It's sort of the something. How long is this? I don't know. Let's find out if it's too long. Langtry. How do you spell melancholy? The erotic melancholy of Cypress. Yeah, with an H. Isn't it nice? Don't say erotic, kids. That's right. I don't know if he's Christian. As upon the road thereto. 2004. Isn't it nice? Kind of fun, huh? I don't know how to play guitar. I don't even know how to air guitar. Well, wasn't that nice? And it's a shorter song than I realized, which is fine. It's not a song, it's a piece. It's an instrumental. Turd Flying Monkey 45, don't say that word, kids. Says, Hake, you deserve some money, don't ever take us too seriously. And stay upbeat. Thank you, man, with a Rumble rant over there. The Rumble crew. Do catch, once again, guys, Joel Friday. Pardon my saying guys too much. Joel Friday TV coming up. And thanks for the support, Flying Monkey. And Xenia, Prepham, Paul, the supporters in the Rumble crew. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts, maybe. Bye, guys. See you on the Joel Friday crew. Take care.